Greetings and welcome to Sideline Views TV. I'm Bueno.
And I'm Andrea Canales.
And we're here from Chivas USA training. As you can see behind us, we're going through their preparations for Thursday's Super Clasico against the Galaxy, and which is what we'll be discussing right now. So how do you see the match 2 days before?
You got one team that's desperate for points, but also really worn out because they've played so many games in a row. And you've got another team that's a little bit more comfortable, probably more confident, but also has a slight layoff because they haven't played in a while.
Yeah, I think the Chivas for certain is coming in differently than the Galaxy, both in form and in points. You know, Chivas has 3 times as many wins as the Galaxy does in the league. It's a typical Clasico though. You know, the form doesn't really matter once they play on the field. On Thursday, no one's going to care about how many games they've played and the previous results. You know, that kind of stuff. Just as this series has shown us, that doesn't really hold a lot of water once the game kicks off. But, for certain, this year is going to might be missing a little bit just because Landon's not there, Beckham's not there. So how do you see that shaping up?
Well, that's the question. Is Landon going to be there? Is Beckham going to be there? They are actually planning to fly back, so they are apparently last-minute options off the bench. I think a lot will depend on how much both Landon and David Beckham get used in their respective friendlies, and really when they get here, how they land. I don't think Beckham should have gone the full 90 against New York. He was less and less effective as the time went on, and you could see him limping badly on that ankle. Landon's in better shape, but Landon has just as long a haul and is probably likely to play more time and plays a sort of position where he does run around more and get tired more. So I'm not sure he's going to be in any better shape. And without those two, the Galaxy really are struggling because they've had a lot of players go down. Every player on that back line has gone down at some point, and the people they have in there now are kind of not the ones who were planned to be the starters all along, except for Abel Xavier, who should be back because it's a natural surface. A surface that should look a lot better than it did in the first game after the X Games.
Yeah, for sure. And I think when you look at Chivas' side, they're obviously missing Bornstein, who Becky's already ruled out Jonathan Bornstein from playing on Thursday.
That's smart.
Even though if anyone's going to be able to play in Sweden one day and in LA the next, it'd be Bornstein just because the guy is fit and he can run all day. But they don't lose a lot with Perez defensively. I think offensively, obviously Bornstein is a much bigger weapon. And he started in the midfield against Toronto. I think Galindo and Razov, they've looked well today so far in training. So they're going to be there. Possibly Ramon Nunez might get in the mix. I don't know. I just think Chivas, they're probably going to have too much for the Galaxy to overcome. I think in this game. If you put me on the spot, I might have to go with the Chivas 2, Galaxy 0 scoreline.
I think the Galaxy are going to be putting a lot of pride out on the line. It's their last desperate push. For whatever reason, it seems that Chivas gets a little bit psyched out when it comes to playing the Galaxy. And they only have that one win without Landon Donovan against the Galaxy team last year in their entire history. And I think the Galaxy might have enough to pull out a draw. But right now, I'm looking at that as best case scenario for any Galaxy fans out there. Unless some miracle happens in the way that, both Beckham and Landon return. It's looking pretty bleak for the Galaxy, actually. But what gives everybody hope, I think, is that the team has showed better form, that Landon and David Beckham have hooked up pretty well, and there's always next year.
Yeah, for sure. And so, again, we'll be here. Hopefully you guys will be following along in person or on TV, and look out for future installments of Sideline Views TV. This is Bueno.
And Andrea Canales. Take care, everyone. See you next time.